Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to the English Podcast Classroom. I'm your host, and I am so excited you're here with me today. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. And if you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back. You guys make my day every single time. Today, we're going to dive into something really fun and practical. We're talking about slang words that young people use in English. And I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, should I really learn slang? Isn't formal English more important? Well, let me tell you something. If you want to understand movies, TV shows, social media, or just have natural conversations with native speakers, especially younger people, you absolutely need to know some basic slang. It's like having a secret code that makes you sound more natural and helps you connect with people. But don't worry, I'm not going to throw you into the deep end. We'll take this step by step and I'll explain everything clearly. By the end of this episode, you'll know 20 common slang words and phrases that you'll hear everywhere. Plus, you'll understand when and how to use them appropriately. So, grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. All right, let's start with the basics. What exactly is slang? Slang is informal language that's used in casual conversations. It's different from the English you might learn in textbooks or formal classes. Think of slang as the everyday language that people use when they're relaxed and talking to friends. Here's the thing about slang, though. It changes all the time. What was popular 5 years ago might sound old-fashioned now, and what's popular today might be completely different next year. That's especially true with young people's slang because they're always creating new ways to express themselves. But here's something important I want you to remember. Slang is very situational. You wouldn't use slang in a job interview or when writing a formal email. But in casual conversations, text messages, or on social media, that's where slang really shines. Okay, are you ready to learn some actual slang words? I thought so. Let's start with our first batch. Let's begin with one of the most popular slang words right now, salty. Now, you might think this has something to do with food, right? Well, not exactly. When someone is salty, it means they're bitter, angry, or upset about something. Usually, it's because they lost or didn't get what they wanted. For example, Mike is so salty because his team lost the game. Or, don't be salty just because I got promoted and you didn't. Can you think of a time when you felt salty about something? Pause for a second and think about it. Got it? Good. Next up, we have lit. This word has a couple of meanings, but the most common one is that something is exciting, amazing, or really fun. You might hear, that party was so lit, or this new song is absolutely lit. Now, be careful with this one, because lit is quite casual and might sound strange if you're talking to older people or in formal situations. But among young people, it's perfectly normal. Let me give you another one. Ghosting. This is when someone suddenly stops responding to your messages or calls without any explanation. They just disappear like a ghost. For instance, I thought we were getting along great, but then he started ghosting me. Or, she's been ghosting all her friends lately. Have you ever experienced ghosting? It's pretty common in the digital age, unfortunately. Now, let's talk about flexing or to flex. This means to show off or brag about something, usually something you're proud of, like money, achievements, or possessions. Example, he's always flexing his new car on social media. Or, stop flexing about your grades. We get it. You're smart. Sometimes people say weird flex when someone brags about something unusual or unexpected. Here's a fun one. Spill the tea. No, we're not talking about accidentally dropping your drink. Tea in slang means gossip or interesting information. And spill the tea means to share that gossip or tell someone what really happened. You might hear, "Come on, spill the tea about what happened at the party." Or, "She finally spilled the tea about why they broke up." This expression comes from the idea of spilling or sharing juicy information, just like you might spill an actual drink. Let's pause here for a moment. How are you doing so far? These 5 slang words, salty, lit, ghosting, flexing, and spill the tea, are super common. Try saying them out loud right now. Don't be shy. Say, "That party was lit," or "Spill the tea." Good job! Practicing out loud is so important for building confidence. Let's keep going with more slang that you'll definitely hear. Savage is a word that's everywhere these days. When someone does something bold, fearless, or impressively harsh, we call it savage. It's usually used as a compliment, believe it or not. For example, "Did you see her response to that rude comment? That was absolutely savage." Or, "He quit his job by sending a meme to his boss. That's so savage." It can also be used to describe someone who's very direct and doesn't hold back their opinions. Next, we have basic. Now, this one can be a little mean, so be careful with it. Basic describes someone or something that's very ordinary, mainstream, or predictable, especially when they think they're being unique or special. You might hear, "She's so basic with her pumpkin spice latte and designer bag." Or, "That movie was pretty basic, the same plot as every other romantic comedy." I personally don't love this word because it can hurt people's feelings, but you should know what it means when you hear it. Here's a positive one, slaps. When something slaps, it means it's really good, especially music or food. For instance, "This burger absolutely slaps." Or, "Have you heard their new album? It slaps so hard." It's kind of like saying something hits you in a good way. It makes an impact. Let's talk about cap and no cap. Cap means lying or exaggerating, and no cap means you're telling the truth or being serious. Examples, "He said he ran 10 miles this morning, but that's probably cap." Or, "I actually studied for 8 hours yesterday." No cap. This comes from the idea of putting a cap or limit on the truth, like you're not telling the whole story. Another really common one is period. Yes, I said period with a T at the end. This is used to emphasize that what you just said is final, end of discussion. It's like putting a period at the end of a sentence, but with extra attitude. You'd say, "I'm the best cook in this house, period." Or, "We're not going to that restaurant again, period." It's a way of saying, "That's final," or "case closed." Now, let's try another quick practice session. Can you use savage in a sentence? How about slaps? Try it right now. Great! Remember, the more you practice, the more natural these words will become. We're doing great! Let's learn 5 more slang terms that are super popular right now. Bet is one of my favorites because it's so versatile. It can mean yes, okay, sure, or I agree. It's like a cool way to say, sounds good. For example, if someone says, "Want to meet at 7 p.m.?" you can just respond, "Bet." Or if someone tells you something interesting, you might say, "Bet, that's awesome." It's kind of like saying something hits you in a good way. It makes an impact. Next up, we have low-key and high-key. These are opposites. Low-key means somewhat, a little bit, or secretly. High-key means very much, obviously, or openly. Examples, "I'm low-key tired, but I don't want to go home yet." Or, "She's high-key the smartest person in our class." You can think of it like volume controls. Low-key is turning the volume down on your feelings or opinions, while high-key is turning it all the way up. Here's one that might surprise you. Fire. When something is fire, it means it's excellent, amazing, or really impressive. It's similar to lit, but can be used a bit more broadly. You might say, your presentation was fire, or this pizza is straight fire. Sometimes people use the fire emoji when they text, which has the same meaning. Let's talk about vibe or vibes. A vibe is a feeling or atmosphere, and it's used a lot in casual conversation. You might talk about having good vibes with someone, or say that a place has weird vibes. For instance, I really like her vibe. She's so positive and fun. Or, this coffee shop has such cozy vibes. Or even, I'm not feeling the vibe at this party. It's all about the energy or feeling you get from a person, place, or situation. Finally, stan. This one comes from the world of fan culture. To stan someone means to be a huge fan of them, to support them completely. It can be used as a verb or a noun. Examples: I totally stan that singer. I have all her albums. Or, she's been a stan of that TV show since the first episode. Be careful, though. Sometimes stan can imply a bit being obsessive, so it depends on the context. Let's do another practice round. Try using bet, low-key, and vibe in sentences. Remember, there's no wrong way to practice. We're almost at the finish line. Let's learn our last set of slang words. Snatched is a compliment that means someone looks amazing, especially their appearance or style. It originally comes from drag culture and means everything looks perfect. You might say, your outfit is snatched, or she walked into the room looking absolutely snatched. It's a very positive way to tell someone they look great. Period we covered earlier, but let me give you period without the T. Sometimes people just say period at the end of a statement to emphasize they're done talking about it. Like, I don't like pineapple on pizza, period. It's less dramatic than period, but has the same meaning. Here's bussin'. This word means something is really good, especially food. It's like saying delicious, but way more casual and fun. Examples: this ramen is bussin', or your mom's cooking is always bussin'. It's pretty much only used for food, so don't say your homework is bussin'. That would sound weird. Now let's talk about mid. This means something is mediocre, average, or disappointing. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. It's right in the middle. You might hear, that movie was mid, not worth the hype. Or, his cooking skills are pretty mid. It's become really popular as a way to express disappointment without being too harsh. Finally, no cap we mentioned before, but I want to add capping. If someone is capping, they're lying or exaggerating. For example, stop capping, you didn't really meet that celebrity. Or, I think he's capping about his test score. Now that we've learned all these slang words, let me give you some really important advice about using them. First, remember your audience. Slang is great for casual conversations with friends, social media, and informal situations. But in professional settings, academic writing, or when talking to people much older than you, stick to more formal language. Second, don't force it. If you try to use too much slang at all at once, you might sound unnatural. Start with 1 or 2 words that you really like, practice them until they feel comfortable, then gradually add more. Third, be aware that slang can vary by region and community. What's popular in one place might not be used in another, and some slang might be specific to certain groups of people. Fourth, stay current, but don't stress about it. Slang changes fast, and you don't need to know every single new word. Focus on the ones you hear repeatedly. And finally, when in doubt, listen more than you speak. Pay attention to how native speakers use these words in context. Watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, or follow social media accounts where you can see slang being used naturally. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about something really important, and that is Cultural sensitivity. Some slang words come from specific communities, especially African American communities, and have important cultural significance. Words like lit, fire, salty, and many others originated in Black communities before becoming mainstream. It's important to understand this history and use these words respectfully. This doesn't mean you can't use them, but it does mean you should be aware of where they come from and avoid appropriating or misusing them. Also, be mindful that some slang can be considered offensive or inappropriate in certain contexts. When you're learning, it's always better to err on the side of caution. If you're ever unsure about whether a slang word is appropriate to use, don't hesitate to ask a native speaker you trust or do some research online. Wow, we covered a lot today. Let's quickly review all the slang words we learned. Salty, bitter or upset. Lit, exciting or amazing. Ghosting, suddenly stopping communication. Flexing, showing off or bragging. Spill the tea, share gossip or information. Savage, bold or impressively harsh. Basic, ordinary or mainstream. Slaps, really good, especially music or food. Cap or no cap. Lying or telling the truth. Period. End of discussion with attitude. Bet, yes, okay, or I agree. Low key, high key. Somewhat, very much. Fire, excellent or amazing. Vibe or vibes. Feeling or atmosphere. Stan, to be a huge fan of someone. Snatched, looking amazing. Bussin', really good food. Mid, mediocre or average. Capping, lying or exaggerating. That's 19 slang words and phrases that will help you sound more natural and understand young people's English better. You know what? I'm genuinely proud of you for sticking with me through this whole episode. Learning slang isn't just about memorizing new words. It's about understanding culture, connecting with people, and making your English more natural and authentic. Remember, language is alive and constantly changing. The slang we talked about today might evolve, or new words might become popular next month. And that's okay. That's what makes language so exciting and dynamic. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pick 3 slang words from today's lesson that you really liked. Practice using them in appropriate situations. Maybe use them in text messages with friends, or try them out when you're watching English videos online. The key is to start small and build confidence. And don't forget, making mistakes is part of learning. If you use a slang word wrong, or if it sounds a bit awkward at first, that's totally normal. Native speakers had to learn these words too, and they probably made mistakes along the way. Before you go, I have a little challenge for you. In the comments section of this video, write a sentence using one of the slang words we learned today. I'll try to respond to as many as I can, and it's a great way to practice. If you enjoyed this episode and learned something new, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other English learners find this content. And if you haven't subscribed to the English Podcast Classroom yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We post new episodes every week, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Do you have requests for future episodes? Maybe there's a specific topic you'd like to learn about, or certain types of English that confuse you. Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I love getting suggestions from you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, your English journey is unique and valuable. You're doing amazing, and I believe in you. Until next time, keep learning and keep curious. This is the English Podcast Classroom, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.